Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Anketell. I'm here to talk about our short game today, and we're going to mainly concentrate on our chipping, which I think is the most important part of the game. What I see most amateurs are doing is when they're around the greens and they're chipping near the greens, is what we would call using an inefficient technique for their chipping. Basically what we're trying to do here is make sure that we get the ball to the hole most times consistently inside one club length. So what we're going to do today is going to show you a technique which we think is going to help you get chipping a lot closer to the hole and also help you make sure that you're not making as many errors.
Just stand up straight and still first. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So today we're talking about chipping and chipping efficiency. My main focus in here is to make sure that I have the club extending down the target line and having no restriction on my follow through. It's a quite popular theory that people think that chipping is just an extension of your putting, which is fine to a certain extent on very, very small chips. But once I get past 5 metres, I need to be able to extend my arms to the target. Now, if my body's only staying very still, it's quite difficult for me to extend my arms without no hip rotation. So what I'd like to emphasise with my students is that when they're hitting the chip shots, don't keep your body too still. Allow your body to just rotate towards the target ever so slightly. If I want the club to extend down the target, if my arms are extending down the target and my body is not moving, then I literally something has to give. My hands are going to come into my body. But if my left arm is extending and I'm allowing my hips to just rotate a little bit, that allows me to keep my nice triangle through the ball. So my students here, what I'd like to see them to do is just get a nice feeling of letting the right side release. One of my favourite things is to make sure that the right heel comes off the ground. I have just a little bit of a little bit of air underneath as I swing through. My favourite exercise for my students is to place their left hand on their right bicep and just do some nice soft swings and feel like the right arm and the right hip all rotate through the target together. Just a nice one-piece motion. I don't want my body going forward, it's not a power issue, but I'd like to feel that if I'm coming through here, my right arm and my right leg will rotate together. This will also help those people who are hitting behind the ball, coming to this position and hitting those chili dips behind the ball. If I can just rotate through, that'll help me get the ball cleanly on the way through and I get the ball going to the target more often.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Finally, the last tip for all players, particularly the beginners, always use less loft. 6-iron and 7-iron, the less loft you have, the less you have to swing the club away from the ball, therefore simply the less things that can go wrong. So for those people who are using pitching wedges and sandwich all the time, I advise you to try and use a 6-iron or a 7-iron. You'll find they'll make your swing smaller, more compact, and you'll have less errors.